Rap superstar Jay-Z has put a national spotlight on social injustice that's plaguing communities of color all over the country. Fox 26's Isiah Carey was in New York this weekend covering this inaugural summit spearheaded by the rapper's entertainment company, Roc Nation.
New York City became ground zero for those who are looking for a way forward out of the darkness, from police brutality to mass incarceration.
I think prisons are supposed to be rehabilitation facilities, right? You should come out better than you went in.
I think everybody should always...
Rapper Yo Gotti attended the first ever United Justice Coalition Summit. It was put on by fellow rapper Jay-Z's company, Roc Nation. Gotti is an advocate for change in prisons. He points to the notorious facility called Parchman in Mississippi, where there were riots back in 2020.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a lot of other places and facilities that we don't even know about. You know, this Parchman thing is because we started seeing the footage and the photos come out of there. So it came out on social media where me and everybody was able to see it. But I'm sure there's other things going on in other places that no one knows going on yet.
Meanwhile, hundreds of attendees filled the seats on Fifth Avenue for the Social Justice Summit.
As a mother of an African-American male, I always think that these type of events are most important.
America is a weight on our shoulders. I mean, it's not a safe place for us mentally. It's not a safe place for us in the streets.
It attracted a who's who in guest speakers and hosts, from radio star Charlemagne the God to New York Attorney General Letitia James, who says social justice has long been her mission.
I've sued gun manufacturers as the Attorney General. We focused on reforming police practices in the state of New York. We have focused on consumer rights and also stood up for tenants.
Thank you.
One of the highlights for the conference was having this panel. Famed civil rights attorney Ben Crump joined the family members of black men who have died at the hands of law enforcement officers across the country, from the mother of Eric Garner to the sister of Botham Jean, who says we have to be prepared for the worst. Jean was shot and killed in his apartment in Dallas by an off-duty police officer in 2018. That officer was later convicted.
I would never think that would happen to my brother. When I spoke to my brother on September 6th, right up to when he got into his apartment, I didn't know it was the last time we would speak. So I would tell anyone, we all have to be prepared, sadly, because it could happen. If it could happen to both of them in his own apartment, eating ice cream, minding his business, it could happen to anyone.
It's so special to see this panel that had mothers who lost their sons, sisters who lost their brothers, and then in Dr. Bernice King's situation, a daughter who lost her father as she educated us to police violence.
And it doesn't mean that they don't have their challenges.
That leads us to Dr. Bernice King, who says her father, Dr. King, would not be shocked at the state of social justice in America today.
In his book, Where Do We Go From Here, he kind of outlined what we needed to do, not just as a nation, but as a world, in order to create true community. Otherwise, we're going to be faced with a lot of chaos, and that's where we are right now.
Early estimates are more than 2,000 people attended this inaugural summit. Now, many of the attendees were hoping to see a surprise guest in the form of Jay-Z, but that simply didn't happen. Now they're planning for the future and doing the work. Isiah Carey, Fox 26 News.
And that was just a glimpse of what the Factor team gathered in New York over the weekend. We have a special edition of the Factor Uncensored Wednesday night at 10:30 for a deep dive into the conference and to learn more on what can be done to make real change.